I had done kind of this frequent flyer hack. A friend of mine, Mike Karjian, had this website and podcast on how to hack the frequent flyer mile system. And he called me up and he's like, dude, right now there's a chance if you can actually, call American Airlines, say, I want to take the Platinum Challenge, you got to give them $300. And you had to fly, I think it was like 50,000 miles in 3 months. If you did that, you actually got to fly Executive Platinum. You reached Executive Platinum status, and then you flew Executive Platinum for the next 18 months. It was a double mile promotion, kind of like sort of thing, double EQM promotion. And so I did. I was working as a nurse. I needed to just blow off some steam and go away. I was kind of frustrated that the website wasn't going anywhere. So in 3 months, I took 3 round-trip tickets, one to Madrid, one to Frankfurt, one to Barcelona. I was in country for a day and a half, maybe close to 2, and I flew like 2.5 days each trip. And then for the next year and a half, I was flying first class on American. And, was for free. So it was at the point where like, hey, honey, I have a weekend off. There's a $115 round trip to like Fort Lauderdale or to Boston. Do you mind if I just hop on a plane and fly to Boston and back today? And she was like, okay, hon, go ahead. So I did. And you know what? Sitting in first class, coding, having people bring you whiskey, warm roasted nuts, fresh bake, chocolate chip cookies. It was actually really nice. But at the same time, like you're sitting there typing away and the person next to you is like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm building, collaborative financial news filtering software. And the guy was like, really? I'm like, yeah, what do you do? They're like, oh, I'm a hedge fund manager. I'm like, hedge fund manager? Really? Hey, what kind of problems do you actually have investing? And at the time, 2008, 2009, these guys would be like, and another thing, and another thing, and another thing. I was like, really? Oh, hang on. Oh, wait, one second. Oh, yes. And what other problems would you have, sir? Yes, okay. And I just started asking people next to me in first class what problems they had investing their capital. I ended up talking with a commercial real estate broker. I ended up talking with a private equity manager, fund manager. I ended up talking with... Sitting in first class is a fantastic way to do customer development. I recommend it anytime. Out of developing countries like China, India, Mexico, Latin America. One of them, not that it's a developing country, but one of them wanted to short the National Bank of Greece back in 2008, 2009. And the investor was really frustrated that they couldn't find any information about the National Bank of Greece in English. So they would, investor just kind of like ranted for 15 minutes about how they had to go and find like a press release from the bank's website and put it into Google Translate and read it. Every single day they would look for new press releases that they would do this manual process. And I was like, this is a search problem. This is fixable. So I started building a search engine for financial news. I started optimizing how my traffic was actually increasing through the preview.bloomberg.com thing. I actually started creating a bunch of landing pages surrounding keywords in financial news. And Google loved it. My traffic started doubling every 8 to 10 weeks. And I was like, oh my God, this is a startup. I've heard about this. Like, people, when their traffic automatically starts increasing and increasing, like, this is something. Like, oh my God, I could raise money. Where do I go? How do I do this? How does money in Silicon Valley work? Like, oh my God, like, okay, this is going to happen.